The Steelers get linebacking depth as the wrath of Khan continues. Omar Khan this offseason. Something else we discussed last week where it's like, they could really, really use a linebacker to help shore things up in the middle. And it looks like we lost Ike for just a second. We'll get him back here. There it is. Ike, this was something we talked about, though, because yes, you get a Landon Roberts. Yes, you bring in Cole Holcomb, 2 new additions to this defense. Kwiatkoski is going to fulfill the role that you had with Robert Spillane as the thumper. So it's like Spillane, now a member of the Raiders. You bring in Kwiatkoski, and he's going to help fulfill that role as someone who's very, very physical, and then someone who can also play on special teams. That's how I see this signing.
Yeah, I mean, just added depth.
Yeah,
that's all. A special teams guy, just in case somebody gets hurt, sitting in that interior as the linebacker crew, who can come in and fill in a few games. Who's a Steeler, who just loves football. When you watch his tape, he just coming downhill, just happy to be on the field. The same, just the intensity level. So, I mean, Mark, I've been Omar Khan, man, he relapsing on how that team was built and how that locker room was built when it came down to winning them championships when we was winning. That's all I can say, because that's all I can see right now, how he building this roster. And he trying to do that tomorrow. he trying to get that tomorrow.
So, let me correct you. He's trying to do that yesterday.
Yeah. So really looking for them Steeler guys who just love football, who just want to play football, man. And by the end of the day, he's getting them. But Nick, they're gonna be good for depth. You can't have too much depth, And one thing about Pittsburgh, they love their linebackers. If it's any kind of history, when it comes down to the defense, it's gonna be that linebacker history. So adding a lot of depth to that room, especially in the inside for that linebacker core.
The last move, Alex Highsmith gets his extension and bring on the 49ers week 1. This is how I see the rest of the offseason going. Let's get healthy. Let's make sure we stay healthy while we're there. But that's like the last thing now. What an amazing offseason it's been. One other thing I need to note, Ike, something I notice. Christian Kuntz, who's been the long snapper the last 2 seasons in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Steelers also signed long snapper Rex Sunahara. So is it Kuntz's job to lose? Is there going to be a competition? And I say this particularly for this reason. Boswell's coming off his worst season in several years. I think it was the 2019 season where he battled injury. Boswell also battled injury in 2022. So I expect redemption because Boswell's as good as there is in the league other than Tucker over in Baltimore. But you bring in a new long snapper potentially, or to say with Kuntz, hey, we need you to get back up to snuff to where Boswell's knocking through pretty much everything inside 50 yards. So I noticed that as well. Steelers also released wide receiver Anthony Miller in the coming days. So really how we're going to shake out the rest of the 53-man roster, though, we need to be able to rely on Boswell from a special team standpoint, make sure our punting game is up to snuff too. Something that's not really flashy or sexy to talk about, but a very, very important element to football in terms of winning and losing. It can make the difference between 2-3 games, and that could be the difference of, hey, are we winning the division or not?
Hey, when you want to talk about long snapping, that competition is who's going to go down there and make that tackle. Yeah, I need that ball snapped in 1.5 seconds to get back there. But at the same time, if I got a long snapper who the first man down there and making that tackle, that's a plus for me. That ain't nothing but a linebacker snapping. So say competition going to bring 2 things, the best or the worst out of somebody. And I see what Omar doing. Omar's bringing, if we're talking about long snapping on this show, Mark, Omar ain't doing nothing but bringing competition from the top of that goddamn roster to the bottom of that goddamn roster. That's exactly what he's doing. So by the end of the day, ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe. Yes. You're going to work to have this position. You're going to work to have this job. If not, I got a young boy sitting right behind you. He's salvaging at the mouth because he ain't eating 3 or 4 days, and I got a buffet right in front of him, and that's getting on the field. So that's exactly what O is doing, Mark.
Full transparency for our viewers. There's times where it's like, Ike's so funny. It's hard for me not to derail the whole show. This is that moment right now. Full transparency for the people listening and watching, Ike.
Yeah, my bad.
No need to apologize.